Well, hello and welcome to the New Jersey ACAC Virtual College Fair. We're so pleased you're here tonight and joined us for session B9. I feel like I just called a bingo. As this is a webinar, we can't see you, we can't hear you, but you can certainly communicate with us through the Q&A box that you can find at the bottom of your screen. Anytime you have a question for one of our presenters, go ahead and type that question in the box. Even if it's before or after they present, they will be keeping an eye on that as well. There is one more block of sessions tonight. So if there are other schools later in the alphabet that you would like to get to know, you can still sign up for those sessions and attend. If there were sessions earlier or later that you can't make, please do know that we have recorded all of these sessions as well for you to view at your leisure. We are really excited to say that they're all going to be housed at strivescan.com/New Jersey. That's where you can find all of those session recordings. So you didn't come here to hear me, you came here to hear about the schools. And so we are going to get started with the Massachusetts Maritime Academy.
Sorry, is my internet back? Or can you guys hear me? Okay, sorry.
I can hear you and see you, yeah.
Sorry, I missed the point where you introduced me, and so, okay, I'm just gonna dive right in. Here we go, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, sorry for that delay, everyone. My name is Ashley Willis. I'm the Associate Director of Freshman Admissions at Massachusetts Maritime Academy. This is a picture of our campus. Some quick facts about us. We are located in Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts, which is right along the Cape Cod Canal, about an hour directly south of Boston, or about 45 minutes from Providence, Rhode Island. We have about 1,700 undergraduate students, so we are a relatively small school. We are a state university of Massachusetts, as well as a state maritime academy, which essentially just means we offer a more specialized set of academic programs, which I will circle back to in just a minute. But overall, we offer a STEM-based education within a regimented campus lifestyle. And despite that regimented campus life, which I again will talk a little bit more about, we do have some more traditional aspects of campus life, including 15 Division III varsity athletic sports, along with a variety of club and intramural teams. So academically, we offer 7 undergraduate programs. They are all Bachelor of Science degrees. 2 of these programs, Marine Engineering and Marine Transportation, allow students to earn a U.S. Coast Guard license in addition to their bachelor's degree, which essentially means that you can work out on large ships. Our other 5 programs are more loosely based in the maritime industry. So some students are working in that industry from land. We also have a lot of students who are working in non-maritime related fields. So while I know maritime is in the name, you certainly are not required to go on to work in the maritime industry or on a ship. What does tie all of our academic programs together is a focus in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and a focus on hands-on and experiential learning. Our philosophy is learn, do, learn, which means you spend time in the classroom building the basics, learning from a textbook, then going out and applying that in a hands-on way, whether that's in on-campus labs or simulators, through experiential learning trips, through co-ops or internships, and then coming back to the classroom to evaluate that hands-on experience and sort of cycling through that process throughout the course of your program. Aside from academics, the other thing that makes us especially unique is our regimented campus life. This is essentially a military style structure that exists on campus. Our students wear uniforms, the day-to-day life is relatively structured, but you don't have a service obligation when you come to Mass Maritime. So you're not joining the military just by coming, and there is no requirement to do so. This is just a structure that exists on campus. The purpose of this structure is for you to build leadership and management skills, self-discipline, time management, a lot of those skills that are going to be really valuable to you in any career path or industry that you end up pursuing. This is really supposed to turn your day-to-day campus life into another aspect of your academic program. So it's really an all-inclusive learning experience. But aside from that day-to-day structure, we do have, like I said, more traditional aspects of campus life, Division III varsity athletics, along with club and intramural teams, most specifically club ice hockey and club rugby, both of which compete intercollegiately. So despite the fact that they're club sports, they are still relatively competitive. We have a very involved student government association that also oversees about 30 student clubs and organizations on campus that range everything from future engineers to beekeeping. So lots of ways to get involved beyond that military style structure. You can still be involved in campus clubs and organizations, start your own club, and have that fun aspect of campus life as well. We have a variety of campus events that happen throughout the year. Our Emory Rice Day is like a spring event that happens each year, pop-up events throughout the year, dress down days. There's a student lounge and game room in the dorms. So there's plenty of opportunities to still have fun and relax within the context of that structured setting. From an admissions perspective, what type of student are we looking for? Our average GPA is about a 3.1 to 3.2, so about a solid B average. I have the average test scores here as a point of reference. This year we were test optional. We are hoping to extend that test optional policy. It's not yet confirmed, but for reference purposes, in a non-test optional year, our average SAT is about a 1050 to 1100. There's about a 2223 on the ACT. Regardless of test scores, if they're required or not, the emphasis is still primarily on your GPA. What went into creating your GPA, your grades throughout high school, what types of classes you were in, and we'll specifically be looking at how you did in your math and science classes, because as I said, we have a very strong STEM focus, so that would be a big part of your curriculum at Mass Maritime. We do have an online application as well as we are on the Common App. We don't have a preference of which one you submit. You're welcome to do either. And Energy Systems Engineering specifically is our most competitive program. For that particular major, that average GPA is more of a minimum. So just in case that's something that you're considering. If any of what I just said sounds interesting to you, I definitely encourage you to join us to learn more. We have a variety of virtual visit options, general info sessions that run twice a week, cadet chats if you're interested in speaking to a current student, potentially one who's from New Jersey or one who's in the major that you're interested in. We have personal interview, virtual one-on-ones with your counselor, a virtual tour on the website, and we do have a limited number of campus tours happening right now as well. So there is opportunity to physically come to campus. This is our office's contact information. I would provide mine, but tomorrow is actually my last day at the Academy, so I don't recommend reaching out to me specifically, but this is our main office's contact information, and they can connect you with the New Jersey counselor. So thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, and best of luck in your new adventure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Our next presenter is from McDaniel College.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I just had my PowerPoint. All right, there we go. So hello, everybody. My name is Tariq Evans. I'm an admissions counselor here at McDaniel College. I'm also an alum of the school. I graduated in 2018 and I studied English and theater while I was there. And I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. So I came back, so I loved McDaniel just that much. So a little bit about McDaniel. We are a liberal arts school. So what liberal arts is essentially is focusing on not just the arts, but we also focus on natural sciences, social sciences, arts and humanities, as you can see. The difference between us and a vocational or a technical school is that here at McDaniel, or a liberal arts college in general, we're focused on transforming well-rounded students into well-rounded career-oriented people. So it's not just like, if you're interested in biology or chemistry, you're gonna spend all your time doing that. Here at McDaniel, you will have a comprehensive plan where you're taking your core classes, but you're also taking classes in different subjects to learn how you can apply what you're learning, what you're interested in different areas. Liberal arts makes you a little more, like I said, well-rounded and a lot more flexible. I know that from my own experience at a liberal arts school, but also just sort of going to McDaniel and watching students get so involved in so many different things because of all the options that you have and how flexible the McDaniel plan is. So a little bit about McDaniel, just to continue, we're a very small school. We have 1,800 undergrad students. Our classes cap off at 25, so you really get a chance to know your professors and your professors know you with the faculty, student to faculty ratio to 12:1. I know while I was there, that was one of my favorite parts of being at McDaniel is learning a lot out in the classroom, but also learning outside of the classroom and your professors really getting to know you as not just a student, but also as a person. I know I didn't get to go home for things like Thanksgiving or major holidays because it was such a quick turnaround. And so I had professors reach out to me and was like, hey, if you want to have Thanksgiving with my family, you're more than welcome to do that. So it's nice to know that they care about you in both those aspects and they're going to challenge you academically as well. Some of our more popular majors here are biology, kinesiology, as you can see, psychology, education, and business. When we say popular, we don't mean that these are the strongest majors. Most of our professors do have their terminal degree, so all of our programs are strong. This is just where a lot of students tend to gravitate towards. We have over 70 majors and minors here at McDaniel. And as you can see, we just added 8 new majors, which I think is super exciting. And they weren't offered while I was a student. So I'm a little jealous, but I think it's awesome that we're adding more curriculum because we are getting more students and we're getting more interest here at McDaniel. The McDaniel plan is essentially your comprehensive plan on how you're going to graduate. It includes this jargon that you see on the screen: quantitative reasoning, scientific inquiry, literary analysis. What this means is a science class, a math class, a creative expressions class. What I like about McDaniel is it's not a one-size-fits-all institution. I know science is not my favorite subject, nor is math, and I did well in them. But I know I had to take a science class when I got to McDaniel. I didn't have to take biology or chemistry. I ended up taking a class called Women in Science, which was the study of women in a male-dominated field. So I was really able to learn a lot in that aspect, but also still be excited to go to class and not fear that I'm gonna blow up a building or anything. When it comes to admissions and the application process, you can take the Common App or the McDaniel app. There is no application fee. When we're looking at your transcript, we're looking at your application holistically. So we don't care necessarily just at your GPA. We don't just look just at your GPA. We're going to look at what classes you're taking. Are you challenging yourself? Is there an upwards trend? And then that essay is going to be important because that gives us a chance to get to know you as a student and as a person if we don't get a chance to see you in person. And letters of recommendation are optional. Also, resumes are optional and test scores are 100% optional. We have been that way for many years. It's not just a COVID related thing. And we continue to use that model to be test optional. If something that you want to submit are your test scores, we will completely look at them, but it doesn't have a determining factor on if you are accepted or not. So thank you for your time. That is my contact information. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can shoot me an email, you can give me a call, and I look forward to reading some of y'all's applications soon. Thank you.
Thank you. And great point. If our panelists want to drop their contact information in the chat, that might be the best way to do that. Or if you've got any links to your visits or to your information requests, go ahead and do that. Students, remember that if you have questions for any of our panelists, you can ask them at any time. Just drop those in the Q&A. Our next presenter is from MCPHS University.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is James Donnelly. I am the Assistant Director of Admission at MCPHS University, the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. We are located in Boston, Massachusetts, and we are the oldest school in Boston. We were founded in 1823. Harvard's across the river. So we are the oldest school in Boston. We're very proud of that. We're going to be celebrating our 200th anniversary in a few years as well. And we're the second oldest pharmacy school in the country. We're located in an area called the Longwood Medical and Academic Area in Boston, and we also are a member of the Colleges of the Fenway. Now, the Colleges of the Fenway is a consortium of 5 schools where you can do clubs, intramural sports, study abroad. There's a lot of opportunities right within the College of the Fenway. So you get the small school experience at MCPHS. We're about 4,500 students, as well as the large school experience. Through the College of the Fenway, there's about 15,000 students. So, you know, we have that small school experience as well as the large school experience at the same time. But we're surrounded by a lot of major teaching hospitals. All of the surrounding hospitals, such as Brigham and Women's, Boston Children's Hospital, Beth Israel, service MCPHS students. And we're also a teaching institution. So all of our courses are taught by full-time faculty members, and there's no TAs or graduate students. All of our courses are taught by full-time faculty members. So you definitely get to know your faculty very well. And we have great clinical affiliations with these hospitals. We have about 100 different majors that I'll get into in a little bit, and 6 different schools within the university. And we also definitely preach IPE, or interprofessional education. So a lot of our different majors collaborate with one another, such as our nursing students may work with our health psychology students, or our MRI students, you know, may work with our PharmD students. We're a very diverse school. Our students come from all 50 states, about 100 different countries, as you see here. We do have 3 campuses. Now, Boston is the main campus. All first-year freshman students coming out of high school will start at the Boston campus. And then we do have some clinical pathways, such as our pre-medical pathways that will go to our Worcester campus, which is about an hour west of Boston, a graduate campus, and then our Manchester, New Hampshire campus as well, which is about an hour north of Boston. And now here are some of our majors here. So we have our School of Arts and Sciences. I would say our top 3 majors are our PharmD program, our doctorate in pharmacy, which is a 6-year doctorate program. That's all at the Boston campus. We have our accelerated nursing program, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and then also our pre-medical health studies program. Those are probably our top 3 majors. The School of Dental Hygiene, the School of Medical Imaging and Therapeutics, and Nursing, these are all accelerated programs. So these students are going to school actually year round. So they'll go fall, spring, and summer semesters, the first 2 years, and then their last year will be fall and spring for their clinicals and rotations. We try to ensure that students have at least 1 clinical and rotation within the area we're located, within Boston. It really is a premier area to study healthcare, not just in the Northeast, but really nationally as well. But for the School of Medical Imaging and Therapeutics, we have all the modalities, you know, diagnostic medical sonography. We have the echo and the general track, MRI, radiation therapy, radiography. And then our School of Pharmacy. So that's where our Doctor of Pharmacy program will lie. We also have a bachelor's degree as well in pharmaceutical science, pharmacology, toxicology, and pharmaceutical business. One of our newest schools houses our occupational therapy program, which is in affiliation with our Manchester campus, and then our physical therapy program, which is with our Worcester campus. Smaller class sizes at MCPHS, 16:1 is the student to faculty ratio. We really only have 3 larger lecture halls on campus that you may find at a larger school. So you're going to get a lot of hands-on personalized attention. And then a little bit about our application process. So we are on the Common Application. It is free to apply. There's no application fee. What we require is your official high school transcripts. We're going to look at your grades from your freshman year through the junior year. We also take the holistic approach to our applicants. We require 1 letter of recommendation. It has to be an academic letter of recommendation from a teacher or a school counselor, and then 2 essays as well. We have the Common App essay and then the MCPHS specific essay, really just stating what your passion is for the healthcare field, and then why are you applying to MCPHS. We did waive the SAT and SAT score requirements this year. So those are our application requirements. And then we are also have 2 early action deadlines. So early action is great because it's non-binding. You know, there's no commitment to the school. You have more time to visit the campus. We have an early action deadline of November 1 and December 1, and regular decision is February 1st. And we offer pretty competitive merit scholarships as well. They range from $8,000 to $16,000, and they're going to renew for your full academic program as well for our merit scholarships. I would say about 90% of our students, you know, receive some sort of financial aid too. Housing, so we have great housing options. We have guaranteed housing for first-year students. About 90% of students will live on campus in the first year. In the second year, they'll go off campus and they'll live in off-campus apartments in the Mission Hill Fenway area, right around the school in Boston. So I definitely encourage you all to visit. We have virtual opportunities as well, virtual tours, and we'll definitely have an open house as well in the fall. Again, my name is Jimmy. I'll leave my contact information in the chat too, but hopefully you all will apply. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Our next presenter is Messiah University.
Okay. All right, yeah, so this is Messiah University. My name is Virgil Angeles. I am an admissions counselor here, and I also am an alumni from Messiah, so I graduated from here. And I also cover the whole state of New Jersey, so if you're ever interested in Messiah, I would actually be your go-to person here. Two things I wanted to point out here. Number one, we do have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and we also have an average class size of about 20 students. What's really great about that is your professors aren't just people who are going to instruct you. You're really going to become family to them. They're going to be like aunts and uncles. So when I was a student here, I was frequently going to my professors' houses. I knew all their family members, including their pets. We would have dinner all the time. We would have bonfires in their backyard. And even after I graduated from Messiah, I would see professors at weddings all the time. So that's really great. We have over 85 different majors and counting, with our top majors being things like engineering, nursing, the applied health sciences, different forms of business, and also education, specifically early education. So studying abroad or just traveling in general is really, really popular for students at Messiah. You could do it for either a full semester, or if that feels like a long time away from your friends and family, you could also just do it for 3 weeks. Basically, the way I like to say it is, as long as you don't want to go to Antarctica, we could help you go anywhere else in the world. So my favorite trip to talk about is something we call the International Business Institute, or as we call it, IBI. So if you're someone who's interested in the field of business, like business management, accounting, finance, marketing, things like that, instead of just telling you about business, we want you to see these businesses in person yourself. So believe it or not, we would actually send our business students to 13 different countries in 10 weeks. So you're literally going to more countries than the amount of weeks that you're away. You start off in Lithuania, you go to places all over Europe, from Germany, France, Italy, Russia, Spain, and then you make your way over to Asia, and we hit up spots like Tokyo, Japan, Bangkok in Thailand, Beijing and Shanghai in China. You also go to India and Dubai. So if you're interested in traveling, that's definitely something that is popular here. Something I really want to point out here, if you see this number in the middle, this number is pretty much unheard of. I have yet to see another college that could say this, so we're really proud of our students. But as soon as our students are graduating from Messiah, 100% of them are not just employed, but are specifically in full-time employment or graduate school, once again, as soon as they graduate. So we're really proud of our students. We are a school that's all about action, so we want to get you as much experience as possible. So as you could see here, and even in this photo as well, one of the things that we do is we send students to major cities every single semester. So for example, when we went to Chicago, we went to the Chicago Bears Stadium, and we met with some of the owners and the managers and people who work there. We went to the LinkedIn headquarters in Chicago. We went to the Chick-fil-A headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. We went to Google and the Today Show in New York City. We went to Lincoln Financial Center, where the Eagles play in Philadelphia. We go to Boston, where the Red Sox play. we go to DC, we go to Baltimore. So we try to make sure you're getting as much experience as possible. So by the time you graduate, you have no issues getting jobs. And then there's a lot of different things you could do on campus too. We have different academic clubs. So one thing that's really popular now is people are getting really into the stock market, like GameStop and Bitcoin, things like that. So we have an investment club, and students are working with real life money, putting it into real life stocks. And our students have raised over $340,000. And we are a school that's all about service. So the only time we ever touch that money is at the end of every year. We'll take 10% of that money and we'll just donate it to local organizations. So that's an example of academic club. We also have concerts if you're interested in music. So we have big acts like Lecrae, NF, John Bellion, 21 Pilots. Average concerts only about $7 to $12. If you're interested in movies, we have our own movie theater on campus that's modeled after a Hollywood film premiere, and we'll show all the up-to-date movies completely for free. If you're interested in the outdoors, we're 10 minutes away from a ski resort. We're right outside of the Appalachian Trail. Our outdoors club will do things like zip lining, high ropes courses, things like that. We have a sign language club. We have different cultural clubs. So there's always stuff to do here on campus. So those were just a few things that I wanted to explain about Messiah. We definitely like to emphasize our relationship with professors, our study abroad programs, the experiential learning things that you could do in order to get experience before you graduate. So I'll make sure to leave my information in the chat, but thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Virgil. Next, I'd like to introduce Emily from Miami University of Ohio.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know these virtual opportunities are a lot, so we appreciate it. My name is Emily Morris. I am with Miami University. We are located in Oxford, Ohio. I know when you think Miami, you think Florida. Trust me, it's even better. I always like to get a little bit of background about myself. I was a Miami student. I was out of state. I am born and raised in Southern California, and most people ask me why in the world I chose to go to Ohio for college. And to be honest, I was a little bit weary of it myself. My sister went first, and I thought, where are you going? Cornfields, middle of nowhere. And then I thought for myself, it is the quintessential, absolutely gorgeous campus. Brick buildings, students are walking everywhere, athletics, Greek life, research, you name it. It's that perfect happy medium. So Miami University is, like I said, happy medium, mid-sized university. There's actually around 17,000 undergraduate students. Not a ton of grad students. It's really that undergraduate focus, which is what I absolutely loved about it. So the faculty members, everyone in the college town, it's focused on that undergraduate experience. Oxford, Ohio is very southwest. It's about an hour from Cincinnati. It's a true college town, the #1 in the nation. And I think that's what I loved most about it. It's what I imagine college to look like and feel like. It's big enough that you're not going to know everyone, but small enough where you have smaller class sizes. You do have full-time faculty, so you will have a professor teaching your class. All of them offer office hours, time to meet with you outside, to go over an exam, catch up on life, help you figure out your why. We do have over 600 student organizations, lots to get involved in. We do have Division I athletics for a big ice hockey school, football, touch and go there. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. So it depends on the season. So think of Miami as, big enough where you have research at your fingertips during that first year. You can study abroad. Over 50% of our students study abroad, but you have that small school feel. So it doesn't feel overwhelmingly large. You don't get lost on campus. We don't have giant lecture style classes. So think of that as kind of, okay, big school opportunities, small school feel. We really love to boast about our faculty members. We are considered a public Ivy, and that's not something we designated for ourselves. This is a list that was created a long time ago, and it's updated every year. And what a public Ivy is a public institution with that public school price and that Ivy League education. So this is something we're really proud of, and we're excited that we are considered one of the original 8 public Ivies. And again, it's all towards our faculty members. They are there to teach. They are not there to, just do their own research and write their papers to get those PhDs. Most of our faculties, almost all of them actually, have a PhD and are there specifically to help our students. To kind of give you an idea of applicants we're seeing, mind you, I'd like to say this is all for this past applicant year, so this will be updated very soon. We are on the common application, which will open for us on August 1st. Here's a few averages in terms of GPAs. We did waive the test for this past year. We've always required a test, but this past year we were test optional. We'll make an announcement for next year very soon. But just to kind of give you an idea, we take a look at weighted GPAs for both admission and scholarship. We do have some special programs. We have a direct admit process for both our business school, our nursing program, as well as some creative arts areas like theater, architecture that might require a portfolio or audition. We are, again, a public university, but we have a ton of in-state and out-of-state students, a lot of families from New Jersey and the Northeast. Although we're a public institution, we don't have any type of requirement where we need a certain amount of in-state versus out-of-state students. We can, all students can apply and have that fair shot. In terms of scholarship, out-of-state scholarships are higher. Because we are public, you'll see a difference between the in-state and out-of-state tuition, but that means scholarship is higher for students. Students are automatically considered for our merit scholarship once they apply. There's nothing extra that you need to do to be considered for that. And we also encourage students to apply for FAFSA, which is free to do, and best to do it around October 1st. One thing I'd love to highlight is we do have something called our Miami Tuition Promise. What that means is the semester you start, you are locked into that room and board, tuition and fees for 4 consecutive years. That will not change. So if you do not get a scholarship, you'll know exactly what you owe for 4 consecutive years. And so it's good for planning purposes, right? In terms of Miami, over 96% of our students are either fully employed or in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. It's a great 4 years, but some things next and will help you get there. If you do have interested in medical or law school, we have great acceptance rates into that. Great graduation rate, typical is 4 years. So I know this is a lot of information from all these universities. When you think of Miami University in Ohio, think of that brick building, traditional college, quintessential college town feel. We do have some on-campus visits and a lot of virtual opportunities. My information's in the chat. Please feel free to send me an email if you have any questions. Thanks again.
Thank you, Emily. And our last presenter, we're going to go north out of Ohio to Michigan and Michigan State University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Larry Alterman, and I am the manager of East Coast recruitment for Michigan State. I'm the first to read any application in the state of New Jersey. So Michigan State is located in East Lansing. We're in the center of the lower part of the state. It is very accessible from the Detroit airport. You can also fly right into Lansing from Newark Airport, just about an hour and 25-minute flight to Detroit. So very easy to get to. East Lansing is a classic college town. So where you see the image with the umbrellas, that's off campus. The large buildings across the street, that is campus. And this is just kind of looking the other way, just multiple blocks of shops and restaurants, all really geared for a student and staff type of customer. We have students from all 50 states, 130 plus countries on our campus. Our campus has a lot of open space, a lot of trees, a lot of grass, very flat, beautiful gardens on campus, always a place to sit underneath a tree and just read a book, listen to music, or relax. We have all 4 seasons and a very wide variety of architecture. We are a large school. We're 39,000 undergraduate students. With graduate students, 49,000. but we're large in a lot of other ways. And the choices you have academically, 17 degree granting colleges offering 200 plus majors. Of course, everything doesn't have to be large. We have some very small residential colleges where you're part of a living, learning community from day one. We do have an honors college. Our honors college at Michigan State is invitation only. You are automatically considered if you are admitted to Michigan State. Always new buildings. This is a new building that's opening this fall, our STEM teaching, learning, and interdisciplinary research facility. Many ways to customize your experience. One of them, our entrepreneurship minor, can be combined with any major. We are a tier 1 research university, and we have tremendous opportunities for undergraduate research across all academic areas. For study abroad, you can go to every continent on the globe, including Antarctica, 60 different countries, over 275 different programs. If you're looking for a place with spirit, Michigan State will be able to check that box. This is our mascot Sparty leading the Spartan marching band to Spartan Stadium, where you can go with 72,000 other fans. You are looking from directly behind the student section. Something special about Spartan Stadium, you can walk there from any residence hall on campus. Our men's and women's basketball team, both of which made the NCAA tournament this year, play in the Breslin Center. As a matter of fact, our men's team has made the NCAA tournament 23 years straight. Students, that's more than every year of your life. There are so many other things to be involved in, over 900 clubs and student organizations, over 150 live music performances. We have 28 different sports for intramural and club. We have active but not dominant Greek life. You do have to live on campus for your first 2 years at Michigan State, and we have 27 different residence halls. We have 10 dining halls, and you can eat in any of them as many times as you like if you're living on campus. We even have our own food truck. In terms of admissions, you can see below our middle 50% on GPA, ACT, and SAT. We take our own application, the common application, and the coalition application. We are test optional for at least the next 5 years. We are very holistic in our review. Our freshman retention rate to sophomore year is 92%. Part of that is we have 6 engagement centers around campus, which offer free tutoring in most subjects first and second year students are taking. We also have health and wellness support there as well. And you'll live within a 5-minute walk of at least one engagement center, although you can take advantage of any of them. We do have a placement rate of 95% within 6 months of graduation. And when you graduate, you join an alumni network of almost 500,000. Tuition and room and board, you can see is $50,352. You are automatically reviewed for merit-based scholarships. We hope you'll consider joining us on the banks of the Red Cedar River. The Red Cedar cuts right through the heart of the Michigan State University campus. And this is my contact information. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me at larrya@msu.edu or give me a call or send me a text on my cell phone. Thank you so much and good luck in your search.
And thank you, Larry, for that great transition, because at this point, I'd like to ask everybody to turn their cameras back on. And I want to do a quick round robin question since our participants have some amazing admission folks in front of them. I would love to know from each of you, and we'll go in the same order that you presented, if you have a bit of advice. I was going to say piece and bit, and it came out as pit, sorry. A piece of advice for these students as they start their college search. So we'll start with Ashley.
My biggest piece of advice is listen to your parents. Your parents probably know you better than you think they do. And looking back on my own college search, my mom told me, I think you'll do better at a smaller school. I think you'll get lost in a big school. And I told her that she was totally wrong. And I ended up at a small school anyway. And later realized that she was totally, and had I gone to the big school that was in my final two decision, I probably would have struggled a lot more. So I'm not saying you have to listen to every single thing that your parents say, but don't take their advice so lightly. They probably know you better than you think.
Love the cheer, the shout out for moms. How about you, Tariq? What kinds of advice would you have?
Yeah, for sure. I'm a first generation college student and I came from a single parent household, so I didn't have anyone to truly guide me on the process. The best advice I can give you is to find a place where you are making a difference and the school is making a difference on you. What you have to offer and what the school has to offer you, I think should go hand in hand. So I think that's probably where you start, and then you figure out how to narrow it down from there.
Jimmy, what would you want to add?
Yeah, I would say a good piece of advice. Definitely spend a lot of time on your college essay. I know, especially in your senior year of high school English classes, next year, that definitely goes a long way, especially at a smaller school like MCPHS. We take that holistic approach and we definitely read every essay. That really allows you to tell your story as an applicant. So I would definitely encourage all students to spend a lot of time on your college essay.
Virgil.
I would say to think about your future college as your next home. So this is going to sound weird, but ask yourself when you're visiting a college, can I see myself brushing my teeth here? And it sounds weird, but you wouldn't brush your teeth in a theater or some random place, but you would brush your teeth at a place where you feel comfortable at home. So that's definitely something to keep in mind.
Emily.
I would say cut yourself some slack. This has been a very tough year, and we've read a lot of essays, and we completely understand some of the things you've been going through. So know that we are being so flexible and very understanding. You probably weren't able to stay involved in a lot of things that you typically would have put on your college application. So give yourself a break. We totally get it. And don't compare yourself to anyone. Each one of your journeys is going to be so different from your classmates and from your siblings. You might have a very similar GPA to the person next to you, but you're going to have a very different college application process experience. So don't worry about anyone but yourself. Finding that best fit for you is going to be the only thing you need to worry about.
And Larry, bring us home.
Sure. Two things. First, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask admissions people questions when you go on campus. Ask questions. Have that open mind and ask questions. And the second thing, have fun. This is your life. Take control over it. Enjoy this process. You will learn way more about yourself than you will ever imagine.
Excellent advice, everybody. Thank you again for your time this afternoon, and thank you attendees for being here. As you close out of these windows today, attendees, you will get a quick 4-question survey. So if you could take a few minutes and answer those 4 questions, that will help us as we plan our events for future students, maybe yourself. There is one more block of sessions in this college fair tonight. So if there are other schools you'd like to learn about, check the schedule and join us for another 45-minute session. And then finally, if you do want to go back and review anything that our presenters shared, you can go to strivescan.com/New Jersey and look up those schools that most interested you. So again, thank you for joining us today. Be well and have a good evening.